welcome to another Crafternoon. It's me, Miss Nicole, or Nicole, whichever you prefer to call me. And this one is going to be a little different than normal. We are going to be doing seed starters. So sometimes books that are not in our craft section give you instructions to do certain things. So this one is called Container Gardening for Kids by Ellen Tamage. Photographed by Bruce Curtis. And in this book, it talks about being able to have a garden, and it's not just about having a garden outside. You can have one indoors. So you can find a whole bunch of cool things around your house, or maybe at a thrift shop, and then use that as your container. But to do that, most of the times you have to do a seed starter. So that is what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to turn to the page. And this part is called Making Baby Plants, the Fine Art of Propagation. And propagation is basically starting seeds. So taking the little tiny seeds and getting them started before, if you want to move them outside or into a bigger container. So this one, we need seeds, potting soil, margarine tubs, egg cartons, strawed off milk cartons, compressed pea pots, seedling flats. In other words, almost anything goes. Ice cream sticks for garden stakes and black permanent marker, fertilizer, and small pots or market packs on all-purpose potting soil. So right now we're not going to use all of these ingredients because this is going to tell you how to do a really long process, but we're going to do the starting point, which this one tells you to send away for your seed catalogs during the winter. I did not do that. What I have are these seeds. I actually, even though they say $2.99, I actually got these from the dollar store. So that's one of the things. If you don't have seeds available, you can try to find them at the dollar store. Sometimes there are local communities that do seed share things, so then you'll be able to get some of them for free. So I have two different types. So this one's called Pollinator Wildflower Bend, and pollinators are like bees, or the things that little insects that spread pollen from flower to flower. And then I also have this one, which is Shade Area Wildflower Bend. So this one, if you have an area that there is not a lot of light, these flowers should work well. So if you are more picky or you have more time, then you can find ones that work the flowers and the plants that work really well in containers or indoors. But I am all about using what I have, and sometimes things don't work out the way we want it to, but that's okay. It's always fun to try the different process. And I know it's April, so it's a little late to start this process, but again, this is just about learning how to do it for me right now. So we're supposed to sow the seeds according to the directions on the back, and pay attention to the sowing time. Let's see, we're going to do that. We're going to put down this because I'm indoors. If you have a porch or you have like somewhere outdoors, you can do this. This is a messy project, but you can do it there. They gave us a bunch of different things that we can use as our seed starter, and I'm going to use an egg container because I have that around. But you see in this picture, this person's even just using a cupcake container, which I know again is something that you can get from the dollar store. I've seen people use cardboard tubes, whether it's from paper towels or toilet paper. I've even seen people use eggshells. So, and the eggshell is supposed to give your the seeds good nutrients. So it's really up to you and what you have available. Okay. So I have this potting soil, and I got that from the dollar store as well. So altogether, I did spend a little money, which is something I normally don't do, but this is like $3 worth of materials. Or if you happen to find any left over, just ask the adults in your life that if you're allowed to use it. So we also have these popsicle sticks, and we're going to use these to label the different rows. I have a spoon. This one's a plastic one, but you don't have to use a plastic spoon. Just use a spoon that you have in your house. Just make sure you ask permission to use it first, and make sure you clean it afterwards. I also have some water in a cup. So plain tap water. Some people like to use really fancy water. I'm not that fancy, and I don't know if you can see. This one says geranium. I picked this cup specifically because we're planting things today, and that's a type of flower. So we're going to take our potting soil and we're going to put it in. And the little white stuff is supposed to be nutrients. And so we're not using fertilizer for this, but that's supposed to be built-in nutrients for our seeds. So it's supposed to be healthy. It's kind of like how when we eat and we get vitamins and minerals from certain foods, that's what that's supposed to be. Or at least that's what I'm told. So I'm spreading them out. You can use your fingers. Oh my gosh. Or you can use the spoon like I'm doing. And it's kind of dry, isn't it? You know, I think it's kind of dry. But that's okay because we have water. Because like humans need water, plants are a living thing and they need that as well. So I'm trying to make sure that these are even. And I'm going to use the back row. I'm going to use one type of flower seeds, and this one I will use another. So what I'm doing now is just making little divots or little holes in each one of these, and then I'm going to put my flower seeds in. Then I'll put some water, label them, and then I will be done. And that is it. That is our seed starter. So what we would do is we keep on watering it to try to keep the water the soil moist, and we wait to see little baby plants pop up. Again, I am a last minute Nancy or Lucy, last minute Lucy. I don't know the phrase, but you know, if you met me, you know Miss Nicole procrastinates. So if I was like really good and planned ahead, I could have showed you this and then give you like a time lapse on how it looks later on down the road. I didn't plan ahead, so we're hopefully at some point I can update you, but it won't be in this video, to see if we actually had anything sprouting. And again, if it doesn't work, that's okay. I know, at least I know how to do that. So if I ever actually have my act together, then I can try to do this earlier in the season, maybe some other plants or anything like that. If you have a lot of seeds left over like I do, you can try saving them. Seeds do expire in the sense that sometimes if you have them for too long, they don't really grow. So just make sure that you use them within the next year or so. The other thing you can do, I've seen people make little like flower bombs out of these, where they mix soil. If there's any clay that you can get from a craft store, you mix them together. And then you put them in different areas in the neighborhood. I recommend you check to see what are plants that normally grow in your neighborhood before you do that, because we don't want to add plants to our neighborhood that may take over the natural wildlife. So we want to use what's called a native plants, which are, again, plants that normally grow in our environment. So that's all I have for you for Crafternoon. And again, this is a little different what we normally do, but if you want to check out Container Gardening for Kids, you can check it out. I'll put a link to it in our description. And also, we have other books about gardening. So we have this, we have books about creating fairy gardens, other container gardening books. And so it's a really great section for you to check out, especially if you want to try to use the things that you have around your house, or if you did go out and buy potting soil and seeds for this, you may want to find out other things you can do with it. So have a good one, and I hope to see you at some point. Bye.